And as a very young sister who grew up in St. Paul, Manila, the concrete St. Paul, Manila, I felt very homesick. I was not just used to seeing too many trees. Now that I have become older, now I enjoy nature. Good morning to you all.
Good morning,
Father
sister.
June Lumbaga, he is the nephew of Sister Mary Sarah Manapol. Dear sisters, our dear friends of St. Paul, and guests, thank you for inviting me to give you a message. It is a joy and honor to share some of my thoughts with you this morning. And I extend the prayerful greetings of the members of the provincial administration to all of you present here. On their behalf, I thank you, our dear friends of St. Paul, for sharing with us the spirit of the congregation of the Sisters of St. Paul of Sharp and participating in our mission. The commitment you entered into with our congregation is essentially spiritual in nature. In communion with us, sisters, you have also committed yourselves to the mission of the Church through prayer and service of our brothers and sisters. Dear friends, I take this occasion to thank you for your valuable contribution to the realization of our mission, especially in our participation and involvement in the realization of the goals of the new evangelization. I would like to underscore the importance, value, and significance of your contribution. Your contribution, your involvement is favorable to the new evangelization, which emphasizes that the mission of evangelization is the duty of the entire people of God, not just of the clergy and religious. The message of the gospel must be heard, understood, embraced, lived and shared by all members of the church. This is the goal of the new evangelization. And it is for this reason that you, the laity, must be trained into the service of evangelization. There is one form of evangelization that I would like to focus on in my message. Earlier, Sister Adelina mentioned, and she thanked you for accepting special tasks that you will perform during this two-day assembly. I will also give you a very special task. So makinig kayo, please. Do not sleep on me. And the task is the task of promoting religious vocation. I would like to ask your assistance, dear friends of St. Paul, in our vocation promotion efforts. I have raised the alarm call to my sisters on the urgent need to do aggressive, innovative, and creative vocation promotion and recruitment. I would always mention in assemblies that we have to take our role as vocation promoters more seriously with a sense of urgency, with deliberate and conscious resolve and determination. I therefore invoke my dear friends of St. Paul, your role, and the new task I'm giving you as our partners in vocation promotion. Allow me to share with you the statistical profile of aspirants we have accepted from 2009 till the present. And how many of them have remained and continue living the life of the Sisters of St. Paul? In 2009, 7 entered, 6 have remained. In 2010, we had 5 aspirants, 2 left. In 2011, 6 entered, only 2 stayed. 2012 had so far the most. We had 13 aspirants and 9 have stayed. 13. That was in 2012. In 2013, 9 came in and 6 remained. The next year, 2014, we had 5, 1 left. In 2015, we had 8, 7 stayed. In 2016, 4 came in, 1 left. In 2017, 5 entered, and they have remained 5 to this day. And this year, 5 entered, 1 left. I thought of sharing with you this information so you will better understand the crisis we are facing in light of the many schools and hospitals, pastoral centers, and special apostolates that lack religious manpower. Vocation promotion is one clear areopagus or situation of poverty that needs to be addressed and responded to. And it is something we should not take for granted. The church is raising the alarm bell. A speaker in one of our assemblies of sisters mentioned that decrease of vocation is a universal phenomenon. It is happening everywhere in the world, except perhaps in Vietnam, where there are many vocations, too many perhaps, that they have distributed themselves to the provinces and districts of our congregation that have few vocations and manpower to run the apostolic works of the sisters. Since I am asking you to help us with vocation promotion, let me share with you the reply of Archbishop Jose Rodriguez Carballo, OFM, Current Secretary of the Congregation for Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life, to the question I asked him during the 2016 Council of Congregation, which I attended in Rome. The question I asked was, what are the signs to look for in a candidate for religious life? And he gave the following answers. The candidate must show willingness to be formed. She must manifest docility, flexibility, and an open disposition to receive and accept corrections. She must not be passive and must assume the responsibility for her choices. She must have the capability of recognizing her vulnerability and possibilities. She must show evidences that she is in constant search for God. She must be gifted with charism and must channel her giftedness in service of others. It is very important that she has good interpersonal relationship, since she will be dealing with a lot of people and will live in community. She must show that she has this desire to pass from good to better, meaning to grow to become a better person. There are signposts that we observe or notice during the discernment journey of an aspiring candidate. The candidate must possess deep inner peace, which is one true sign of an authentic vocation. The second sign is one's own deepest desire to heed the call of God. A young woman once tearfully asked or said to a sister, "I so hope God is calling me to religious life. I want nothing more than to give my life completely to Him." And the sister asked, "So, why are you still so conflicted?" "Because," the young lady answered, "why, if that's not where God is calling?" Saint Ignatius of Loyola has an answer for that. He said, Saint Ignatius assures us that God has placed His deepest desire for us within our own hearts. If the desire for the cloister is strong, firm, decided, and definite, the sign is the most favorable one. Another sign that God might be calling someone to religious life is that gradually the impossible becomes possible. Sometimes there are obstacles along the way. When Mary gave her yes to God at the Annunciation, there were clearly some obstacles to overcome. What to tell Joseph, how the community would respond, and the need to register for the census. To show Mary that nothing is impossible for God, the angel told her that even her cousin Elizabeth had conceived a child in her old age. One example our speaker told us was a candidate who worried about who would take care of her parents if she would enter the convent, since she was an only child. The offer of her aunt to take care of her parents was God's sign that He would take care of those we leave behind. Another signpost is when other people see God's grace in the life of the candidate and affirm that indeed he or she would make a wonderful religious sister, brother, or priest. Often, candidates distrust their own worthiness. Sometimes, as we are confronted by our human weaknesses, we justify the many reasons why we should not be called. We need to leave the choice to Christ and recall that Jesus said, "It was not you who chose me, but I who chose you." Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. The surest signpost of all is a tangible joy that bubbles up and overflows in all aspects of life. As young men and women open themselves to God's will and say their own fiat, a palpable joy seems to emanate. And definitely, the candidate must have good physical and mental health to undertake the apostolic works of the congregation. A gentle and docile character may also be regarded as a sign of a vocation. If the life within the walls of a convent is to be a happy one, it is a primary condition that all the sisters should live in mutual affection and concord. They should bear patiently with one another's human imperfections, and be ever cheerful, helpful, and considerate. A person whose temper is hasty and violent, or whose character is self-willed and obstinate, will find it exceedingly difficult to practice the obedience and patience demanded in the cloister, unless she has a firm, determined will to overcome herself and has already given abundant proof that she possesses the strength required to do so. So, my dear friends of St. Paul, I have given you important guidelines as you help us look for likely candidates to religious life. I keep on challenging my sisters to set a goal. Can they all together contribute 15 or more aspirants a year? What I try to demonstrate to them is the process of becoming goal-oriented, which is very important. We do not leave things to chance. Yes. I told them to always remember these adjectives: conscious, deliberate, and determined efforts to create the culture of vocation, nurturing and caring for. Dear friends, I appeal to you to please join us to look for more workers for the new evangelization. Next year, 2019, we shall celebrate the 115th foundation anniversary of our congregation in the Philippines. Province-wide, and of course, St. Paul University Dumaguete, as our pioneer, will of course have a special celebration. 115 years. The theme of our celebration is SPC Phil, their founding at 150. The spirit of the celebration shall be characterized by SPC, simplicity, prayerfulness, and charity. And the message we wish to impart is no other than the message of Christ, which is love, expressed by St. Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13. Please join us in giving praise and thanks to God for all the blessings and graces received by our congregation in the 115 years of its mission and service to the nation and to the world. I congratulate Sister Evelina Haveliana and her team for organizing this assembly and choosing a theme that is relevant to our context today. Whatever program we come up with, let us be reminded, however, that in the end, it is holiness that counts. All the programs that we do will only be effective and will have impact if people see that we live them and that they bring us closer to God and to one another. May our homes and our workplaces be vibrant centers of Christian love, centers where Christ is at the center of everything we say and do, where love prevails, where our charism or gifts are put at the service of others, where there is fraternal experience of community and belongingness, and where sense of mission impels us to selfless service of others. Blessings and prayers to you all for the success of your assembly and for an effective application and implementation of what you will learn during these 2 days of encounter with the Lord and with one another. Consider this assembly as a special visitation of the Lord who calls you to a special mission. And I've given you your special mission to be partners with us in our vocation promotion efforts. Another mission, to preserve our Christian faith, to strengthen our ministries, and to be renewed agents of the new evangelization. Thank you for your kind listening. May God bless us all. Caritas Christi Urgent.
Ito po, sister. Ang ganda ito.
We will now give a certificate and the token. May I call on Sister Lilia, our coordinator, and Sister Rosella.
8
To
gig.
read
8 gig ata yun,
part of
sister.
thanks
8 gig to,
of
sister.
Yes, our friend Lilia.
In mga less than 500
I
ata
have
ito,
the most
sister.
distinct privilege to read this thank you card
That's right.
from our friends and sisters.
Sulat ko SD.
It has
SD.
a bold thank you
Sun
word.
disk, sister.
Sun,
Disk.
D-I-S-K.
Our
Yes, sister.
dearest sister
8 gig.
Lilia Perez.
Kasi
From
6 years na
Matthew
yun.
chapter 18, verse 20. I will be with you until the end of age. This is Jesus' promise when he gave his great commission to his disciples and to all of us as we do the mission of the new evangelization. And indeed, through the ages, he has made his presence known in varied ways. Surely, we recognize his hand in this assembly.
Do not know him.
His loving providence in giving us all this, the venue, the food, the liturgy, the speakers, the pilgrimage, and the gift of each one. And for your presence and message, our dear sister.
Yes.
It is not easy to write, and even if we are a prolific writer, still it is not easy to inspire. But you did, sister. Your words of wisdom will keep us through these 2 days and beyond, keeping in mind that we need to pause, ponder, listen, and become better witnesses as friends of St. Paul. On this feast of Our Lady of Fatima, may our Blessed Mother always protect you and pray for you as you lead us. Thank you, our dear sister, and God bless you. Affectionately in
Thank you,
Jesus, participants of the Friends of St. Paul 9th National Assembly.
Kasama natin yan. Sinabihin ka. Ate Lourdes, muntik natin patayin dyan. Ate Lourdes, there is a boy who had a split palate. No, but it's not. Already 10 years old, so that's great. Then the mother talked to me. Okay, she's interested to operate this one. We have a sister named Inspirational. Whatever, in some Marcelino, in split palate, in smile operation. So the mother has barely 200,000 to go to Manila to jail.
Thank you, Sister Lilia. We are moving forward.